Okay, hey guys. So I'm gonna go ahead and do a little bit of a vlog today, and I wanted to start out in the barn because this is not technically a barn vlog, but I wanted to explain what's going on with my day yesterday and why my original thoughts on a vlog did not work. First off, I'm probably really bundled up from what it seems like to you guys because I live in upstate New York next to Lake Otsego, and it is like maybe 20 degrees out. With that being said, I don't typically not wear gloves in this kind of weather, but to activate my phone, that's what I do. I just wanted to give you like a little heads up. Like, part of my issue that I was having yesterday, for what my next part of my vlog is going to be about, because there was something big going on in my day. Twilight ended up staying in the barn. My landlord doesn't like having her outside when I'm not physically home because she's afraid that if she gets out, something bad will happen to her, which is understandable. She's not an equestrian, so she doesn't understand those things. So I had a bit of an emergency yesterday, and that actually worked out in the end, so it's not like, this isn't a sad vlog, I promise. But I did want to address something before we got too far into what happened in my day. Now, at night, on his way home from work, my fiance, we usually stop at the barn and check on Twilight. And I like to leave a jug of water because she goes through water pretty quick for an Arabian. So he gives her a jug of water when she needs it, and because I have to carry my water from the house. Now, the devious little booger is right there. That's right, folks. She was a naughty pony last night. She decided it was okay to push past my boyfriend, well, my fiance. I am engaged, so. She decided to push past my fiance and run up the road, which she went that way. So that's the road right there. She went that way. Luckily, I live on a cutoff road. It's kind of a road that's a lot less traveled than people think it is. And we didn't have any issues. My fiance did call me immediately after it happened. Now, here's my problem. He is a non-equestrian, but he does know some stuff about horses. He knows enough that something like that happens to immediately call me, because Twilight will not come back to anybody but me. Especially if they're a little worked up, and my fiance tends to get pretty worked up about that kind of stuff. So luckily he took the right precautions, but I just want everybody to know that if you have a non-equestrian that lives with you and wants to help you with their horses, make sure they know exactly how to handle situations. Luckily, I've taught my fiance what I need him to do, because there are things that, if it happens, could be detrimental to not only himself, but Twilight too. So he knows, like the signs of colic. He knows if she's cast in the stall, like what he needs to do. He knows the emergency contact numbers. All of my emergency contact numbers are written down on my feed chart board in the tack room. And it was a simple incident that I'm sure any horse person that is watching could probably have something similar happen to them as well. She's blown past me sometimes. And even though she's simple for me to catch, she's not for other people. And my fiance acted accordingly. He, without having to be told, did go and get some grain out of the barn. Thank God, because she is pretty food motivated and she does come closer. And he was able to keep her from going too far and call me at the same time, because we have cell phones. We don't physically have a house phone. And I was able to act quickly, bundle Emma up, and come right down. We traded off halter for child, and I was able to get Twilight wrangled and bring her back in the stall within a matter of just a couple of minutes. So, with that being said, always have like a game plan if something happens, because you never know. Horses are going to be horses. They have a mind of their own, and they're not always going to want to cooperate. When they're having a bad day, they're having a bad day. Twilight obviously has been very upset with me from yesterday because she's not the kind of horse that likes to just stay in the stall. But with that being said, I also had an emergency, and to keep her safe and keep my landlord at bay, it had to be done the way it was. Not that I like it to be done that way, but rules are rules. Horses will be horses, and things do happen. So just keep that in mind for anybody who is like looking into getting a horse. Just remind yourself that horses are going to be horses. Things are going to happen, and there's going to be incidences. And I hate to bring it up in a vlog, and like I kind of debated not vlogging about it, but it's something that I felt needed to be kind of spoken about, because, you know, there are people out there that have people that are watching their horses or want to help with their horses and don't understand fully a situation or how to contain themselves in a situation. And for somebody to know that they can't keep their cool in a situation, such as like having a little meltdown, like my fiance gets a little worked up, and he knows that. So he did call me immediately because he was worried that something bad was going to happen. And it didn't, because he called me and he acted fast. So, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and get Miss Emilia up to the house, because she is getting pretty upset with the fact that she's still at the barn. And Twilight's wondering why we're standing in front of the stall still. So, one last little thing. How do you feel about what you did to Daddy last night? Are you a little embarrassed? Don't try to hide yourself. You're kind of a naughty pony today. Yes, I'm a little upset with you. I still love you, but I'm upset with you. Alright, so I will meet you guys back at the house to talk about my second part of my day from yesterday. Hi guys, so I'm back in the house, and come here. I'm going to tell you what happened in my day yesterday. So this is Miss Zira. She is one of my purebred chihuahuas that I have. And see there? She has a little bit of an exciting thing happen to her yesterday. I breed chihuahuas as emotional support dogs and therapy dogs. And we were expecting a litter out of her. And she, at 4 o'clock in the morning yesterday, started laboring out. I apologize because my daughter's getting quite upset. Do you want a bottle? You love bottles, I know. And she had one puppy. Her labor stalled, which is not a good thing. We talked to the vet. They wanted to send us to Capital District, which by the time I got there, my vet's office would have been opening up anyways, so I might as well have just waited. Oh, I just smashed my head. And so we waited to go to my vet. It would be cheaper, closer, easier if she would have had to stay overnight. And in the meantime, I had administered, my mom brought me a dosage of oxytocin, which speeds up the amount of contractions that you have when you're in labor. It's kind of like, for women that have had babies, if you've had Pitocin done, it's the same thing. So we get to the vet. My vet does 4 things to my dog. She takes an x-ray, she does an ultrasound, both to check placement of puppies and to, I'm trying to find stuff for my child to play with. Do you want to sit with mommy? Yeah, what do we got? And, okay, I'm going to try to do this. So, they were checking placement of puppies and just to make sure nobody was in distress, checking heartbeats and whatnot. Now, mind you, she's already got one puppy in her box when we get to the vet's office. They also administer the oxytocin, the calcium. Now, the calcium they had to do slowly because if they don't, it'll give her a heart attack. But it's administered alongside the oxytocin to strengthen the contractions. So you get more harder contractions if you do both together, which is a great thing. Basically, her diagnosis, what they told me, was she had a low calcium level, which is not abnormal in Chihuahuas. I've heard of it several times and kind of had a feeling that was what was going on. Now, she goes to explain what's going on in the x-ray. And this is where my day turned just a little bit hectic and made me panic a hair. Mind you, Zira is a 5-pound dog. She has already passed one puppy. And my vet is now currently telling me that she has 6 more puppies in her room. Guys, my dog had 7 puppies. And it's a little hysterical. The child's doing weird things. I don't know what she's doing. So, with that being said, I was up for 16 hours yesterday with a laboring dog, working to get puppies into this world, and I'm going to show them to you. So our first adventure and our smallest of the litter was our firstborn little male. He's our only boy in the litter, and he is a black and tan party color. Now my second one. Now this one was born in the vet's office. They wanted to make sure that she could pass her. And this is our first little female. She is a blue merle. My third of the litter. Come here. This is my third of the litter. She's a black sable with, if I can get her turned around, this beautiful little chest marking. She was born in my grandmother's car. Oh, she's got a little white tip on her tail. See that? Little white tip. I don't know if you guys can see very well. My lighting's kind of awful. I apologize. She was born in my grandmother's car. So, she had quite the interesting trip on the way out. Now, this one is my second biggest of the litter. Or my second smallest, I mean. I apologize for that. She is a black and tan female. And this one I spent 15 minutes working on. She's got a little white blotch there. Spent 15 minutes working on because she was extremely full of fluid in her lungs. And that's detrimental. She turned blue, kind of like a drowning process. Like she's almost like she's suffocating. So we had to get all that out and do it quickly. Now my fifth born was my most complicated. This is my fifth born. She has a little white tip on her tail as well. Beautiful markings. Little marking on the back of her neck. Now, she was born. She looked healthy, happy. My sixth came along, which I'll show you her quick. Come here, little girl. This is our sixth born. She is also a black and tan with a white marking. She is our biggest of the litter. When she was born, my fifth puppy proceeded to have major issues where she was technically clinically dead. Emma, stop. I worked at her for 45 minutes, y'all, and amongst that, my fiance pep talked me, kept me going with it, and I managed to get her to survive. We decided to name her Miracle because she's our little miracle puppy, and as long as our finances go well, we will be keeping her. And she's a little red sable. So she's actually one of the ones that I fell in love with the most. Now our 7th born is also a little red sable female with no white markings. My friend Becca is very interested in her, and with any luck, you can tell how pink she is. That's pretty cool. With any luck, she will be, hi Zira, she will be doing payments on her. Just that she's going to end up being a therapy dog for Becca. Don't kick Zira, that's not nice. Yep, just pet her gentle. My daughter's petting Zira. I'm going to go ahead and try to wrap this up as quickly as possible because my child and my dog are both freaking out. So, with that being said, I just wanted to share with you kind of our adventure from yesterday. Our little emergency, as I would call it, because it definitely was an emergency. This is the reason why Twilight's been so mad at me. Of course, after everybody was born, that's when Twilight kind of pulled her stuff with my fiance, and as you'll see in the first part of the video, I have kind of a little bit of a speech for everybody, but I feel like it's a good thing to let everybody know. Please stop. Trying to vlog with a toddler's not easy, guys. I'm sorry. So with that being said, comment down below what you think, and if you know of anybody that wants a puppy baby, I don't know. I'm not trying to sell anything or clickbait yet, so just a little bit of funness, some cuteness to add to your day, and just explain to you kind of the problems you can have when you have puppies. Now, I don't breed every year. This is my last litter of the year, and I've only had 2 other litters this year, so we don't usually have quite this many. I'm a little overwhelmed. But Zira is our only breeding female at this point. I've retired my other female, and that's kind of where we're at. This is just kind of a fun little hobby for me to enjoy and do something to give back to the people that I care about most, which in my world, I have generalized anxiety disorder. So I myself have an emotional support dog, and Zira's mom is that, so my dog Zira is my emotional support dog. With that being said, I want to give back to the people in kind of the mental health community that need a little extra. I actually am proud to say I have the chance to see one of my puppies that I've raised doing their job and doing it well. I had a little black and tan male at a few litters ago, about 1.5 years ago now, that we sold to my fiance's uncle, who has paranoid schizophrenia, and since he's had Barney, he is so much better. He can carry on full conversations with us. He doesn't talk to himself like he used to. Occasionally he gets mad at the TV because he thinks that they're trying to kind of tell him things about their neighbor that is not nice to him. But in the long run, it's helped him a lot, and I feel so thankful to know that it was because myself and my dogs that I could do that for somebody. And this is my way to give back to people in need. So if anybody that watches that has a mental health disorder, maybe depression, anxiety, anything, even if you have something that you really need to get off your chest, don't be afraid to talk about it. And you know what? If you have any of those disorders, maybe looking into a service dog is a good idea. And I highly suggest trying something new and figuring out what works best for you. And I wish everybody the best. Not just my mental health people, because I love yous. But I want everybody to be doing well. And I hope everybody enjoyed seeing the newest additions and seeing kind of our little gift to our community. So with that being said, Miss Emma and I say toodaloos, guys. Say bye, YouTube. We love everybody. Bye. Alright, so thank you for watching, guys. Remember, hit the subscribe button and hit your notification button so you never miss a video. And don't forget to like my videos, because y'all are what make me happy. I'm so proud of myself because I did never think I was ever going to get to do this for you guys. So, kind of my appreciation day. Thank you so much for watching, and please come back because I love yous. Alright, we'll talk to you later. Thanks.